How you feeling over there?
Feel good.
Good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah. All right.
I feel well, actually. Thank you.
All right. Good.
I'm thinking I might be tempted to pick up some salam on the way home.
Really?
Yeah.
What are their hours like?
They're till 2 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially like in holiday seasons, like in Ramadan and stuff like that, when you have to fast all day and eat at night. When Ramadan happens in the summertime, like it did this year and the year prior, because the calendars are different. They were open till like 2 a.m. and busy up until like 1. The guys were telling me. Good stuff over there, the salam. Good fast.
I don't know about fast.
Being facetious. It is good.
If you're in a hurry, you're not going to go there.
No, and don't call ahead, right?
That's always turned out to be pointless.
Yeah, just show up and do it. But what's funny is sometimes when you sit down in there, you give them your order and you come, you can barely have time to finish eating your olives.
Crop dust.
Yeah, crop dusting in the restaurant is not nice.
But what if you're crop dusting and it's a loud one? And then as you're walking, it's like this following you, like the engine sputtering out your crop duster. Oh, this is going in the archives. It's never coming back against the light of day.
Is this the 25th episode?
Oh, it's 26.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be the lost episode.
This Hitchhiker's Guide to Disbelief was lost back in the early 2015 season.
Wow.
Late.
Yeah, late.
You only got 44 days till Christmas or some shit.
44 days.
I heard something on the radio.
I feel pulled into all that shit.
Why? As it gets Costco and Target and every place else has...
Family, coworkers.
I was going to say Christmas trees and Christmas decorations up.
I don't know. You know, I hate to say it, but I really don't mind the season. I don't mind the celebration. I don't mind the stores putting out gifts and, making consumer goods, more accessible and cheap. And
isn't that what Christmas is all about?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like it. I kind of like that we all say, hey, I'm going to wait till this certain time when things are cold and we're going to kind of sit inside and we're going to buy gifts and we're going to bake cookies and we're going to get together because it's Christmas time and we're going to force ourselves to spend some time together and argue.
See, I don't mind that. I just think, you go outside the United States and you have Christmas and then you keep going for, another 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever, of the Christmas season. While in the U.S., it's, it's this really steep incline up to Christmas. And then Christmas hits.
And then boom.
And then you're like, oh, fuck, this is just a cliff. And then you come crashing down. And December 26th, it's all gone. The 24/7 Christmas music is shut off. Christmas decorations are yanked down. Everything's gone. You have that little bit of period between then and New Year's, but it's...
Foreplay to climax.
Yeah.
I disagree. That's all on the commercial buying level. But, I mean, I'm still playing German Christmas music
Until October.
Well, no, up until February. I mean, I'm still going to break out, a Manfred Gersh, Saturday session.
You're still listening to Manfred Gersh.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's awesome.
That's the European in you.
Well, yeah, and that's the idea. That's the Christmas when I think about Christmas.
It's a European tradition.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, I bought...
It's a European tradition that somehow includes this guy from the Middle East.
Well, no, I think... I don't even think about the guy from... Christmas for me is really just about...
Yuletide.
Yeah, and so today I bought eggnog liqueur.
Ooh.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I like eggnog liqueur.
Was it next to the stool softener?
Of course it was next to the stool softener. Don't they go hand in hand? How are you going to get the stool softener down?
Oh, man.
But, so I'm I'm thinking like eggnog liqueur, liqueur. Sorry.
No, that's you are.
Yeah, that's all part of the season for me.
I don't like eggnog.
Cookies. I mean,
You always have cookies.
Yeah, I always have cookies, but I mean...
But he's going to start making cookies.
Right.
Baking them.
And there's going to be cookies around. There's going to be... People are going to be like, it's the time. I should really be baking cookies. And people will be baking cookies and like
Who are these people?
Bringing you cookies.
People. Europeans.
Yeah, I mean, just everybody.
We're having a bunch of Europeans coming here now?
There's Europeans everywhere.
Yeah, you're surrounded by them.
Wherever there's Europeans around, there's going to be cookies.
But that's the whole thing, is it's all about eating and...
I get surrounded by all the pieces of paper that say, give us your money, we're going to give you this shitty-ass Affy Tapple or this shitty-ass wallpaper or
wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper.
That's why you need to start donating to the Human Fund.
I did that one year. I printed out a bunch of business cards with my picture on it.
Really?
I did.
You have made a donation to the Human Fund?
I did, and that's what I gave everybody.
Did anybody call bullshit on it?
Everybody did.
Okay, so at least we know we're not the only Seinfeld fans in the world. I think I'm finally past the idea that Christmas is about Jesus, and...
So what you're saying is he's not the reason for the season.
Fuck no. He's the least of anything, and people who want to say it's all about him, okay. We have the historical accounts that say where Christmas started and where.
Okay, can we talk about that dude in Fox Lake?
Let's talk about. Let's talk about the dude in Fox Lake, because we talked about this as it was happening. Remember?
And what did I say?
Oh, the hero cop?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's.
What did I say?
Well, okay, so I can go back and check the archives, and I could edit that in right here. Boom, what the doctor said about it. Okay, but for that to come out this week that he was he was embezzling money. Thank you. He was not laundering money. He was embezzling money. That was really...
He was doing a lot more than that.
Exactly. But, I mean, that was really good. That it wasn't, it wasn't the fact that we were on this manhunt and all the resources.
Died a hero.
I know, right? Oh, a hero cop, and all the people that came out. So you had fucking InfoWars out there?
Rewards for his...
Sorry, that was me twice.
Capture.
Hey, do you remember... so that whole... freaking FBI was here. Mm-hmm. Okay, how many cops went in on their days off for this fucking manhunt?
Fucking cop killer.
Yeah.
Over 30 different police departments showed up.
How do they feel today?
Apparently they didn't like this guy much anyway.
I spoke with one, and he's not very happy.
I wouldn't be either.
And he's like, you know what? We have a hard enough time with the whole Black Lives Matter and the whole police brutality, and this does not reflect well whatsoever. Pissed.
It's good, though, in a way.
Well, it's good.
It's good that the truth came out.
It kind of... I don't want to say it evened things out, but...
I said from the get-go that something was fishy, that the state fucking police doesn't send fixed-wing aircraft. The FBI, the DEA, the feds, everybody doesn't get fucking involved over this. And all of a sudden you have a brown, white, and black male running the scene. It just didn't make any sense. And then he's there for 20 minutes prior to calling it in. Come on. There was no way. Something wasn't adding up from the get-go.
They knew it was suicide when they found the body.
If not knew, then highly suspected.
Well, come on. I mean... We've seen enough ballistics in our lives to know that you walk into any crime scene and you look at where things are laid out and how they were laid out.
What I'm saying is, if not knew, then suspected that it was a setup.
Yeah.
That he either got ambushed and it's staged, or that it was suicide. But now all these charities are going after his family, which I think is great.
So he would rather be dead than deal with what would eventually come out anyway.
Well, I don't think he went about it the right way. I mean, he didn't quite hide the evidence the right way.
No, just killing yourself wasn't really the answer.
No, but I guess he shouldn't have fucking kept the crack at his desk the day he was going to do it. You probably shouldn't have sent those text messages the day he was going to do it. You probably shouldn't have tried to hire the fucking hitman a week before he did it. You know, you probably should have gone about it a little bit differently.
If you're not smart enough to understand the entire ramifications of a plan like this, maybe you shouldn't do it.
There's ways to do it. I mean, there's plenty of fucking serial killers running around there or out there that we don't know about.
Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter about him. He's off the hook.
Yeah, but now his family's fucked.
His family's fucked because they kept the money.
Because they kept the money. Because
and they were complicit in it.
Because his son fake married his mistress.
They knew about it. They took a squad car on vacation. They were using village funds to fund vacations.
Who takes a squad car on vacation?
I don't know. But I guess you got one of those nice command Suburbans.
That's true, but it's got to be tight in the back seat. Well, I guess when you're little like that guy was, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you're getting
first
there
off,
quick. Plus, you can blow off your lights anytime you want.
Anybody that gets... I can blow off my lights anytime I want to, but...
I can blow anytime I want.
But anybody that walks around with a recon haircut and calls himself G.I. Joe...
Yeah, that's
there's something a little,
Yeah, he looked like a fucking crazy motherfucker anyway, so it was either going to be he would kill himself one day or kill somebody else. He would have killed his family one day. Is that better? Would that have been better?
Peterson.
Well, now it's come out that, the reason why he was being forced to retire because of all the sexual complaints, sexual assaults, public indecency, drunk driving, all these other charges that they had against him.
He was a typical asshole cop.
He was, and he was just covered up for really, really well.
And he just kept getting worse and worse, and then he dragged his family into it, and either...
you don't drag. That's the thing, is at one point you're dragged, and another point you become complacent.
Well, yeah.
And then you're like, oh... Well, instead of you making $100,000 a year, now you're making $150,000 a year.
Sure, Dad. I think fake marrying your mistress is an awesome idea. I'm in.
Now I could go get free tattoos. Oh, now I could go get free gas. Oh,
Are you kidding? Free tattoos, free gas. Holy
I'm just
shit.
saying,
you could have so much tail from
for
that.
For you, it doesn't matter. But if you're living in, Fox Lake, you're living in some of these suburbs, you're living on the west side of Gurnee, you're living in West Chicago.
I like those places.
I don't think we were talking about the same places then. I don't think you've been to the same places that we're talking about.
I've been to West Chicago. The other side of 59.
You've been to the Section 8 housing, trailer park homes.
In West Chicago?
Duck every time a car backfires places? Okay.
No, I've been to where...
You've been in the north part of it.
Yeah.
I've been where the houses are sitting on 5 or 6 acres. And,
exactly.
Where you can actually deer hunt on your own land in West Chicago.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know about the...
he's grabbing, other female officers' boobs and genitalia and groping them, and, they're covering up for him for years. And now there's 2 other cops under investigation for covering up. Lake County is taking over the investigation. Supposedly it's going over to the feds because it's even over Lake County's head.
Okay, so personally, if there was somebody around you in the work environment that was acting like an asshole like that and was treating somebody like shit, would you be covering up for them or would you just get rid of them?
Depends.
And when I say get rid of them, I don't mean get rid of them as I make the gun symbol to the head, but I mean do everything in your power just to get them fired. Just get
if somebody's stealing paper clips, I don't care.
Okay.
If somebody's
grabbing boobs and genitalia,
if somebody's sexually assaulting the secretary
and she's not into it,
I think at that point it wouldn't even be me trying to get into getting them fired. It'd probably be me stepping in and stopping it.
Okay, exactly.
Depending on the person you are, you either step in and stop it, or you go to other people and say, hey, this guy's a real dick.
Force in numbers.
Fuck this guy. We got to get this fucker
right, but you also
here.
have to remember that human resources isn't there to protect you. Human resources is there to protect the company.
Exactly.
So you also have to be careful what you tell human resources because they might think you're the problem.
Exactly. But he's bad for the company.
He was
overall
bad for everybody.
Right. But the thing is they had enough on him. If they had enough on him to pretty much force him to retire, they should have, at that point, gone to the feds and said, listen, here's what's going on, except no one higher than him. So there's this saying, there's this military police saying, you should never be the top officer with a secret.
Mm.
Okay, the highest ranking officer with a secret.
So what was awaiting this guy?
Prison.
That was so much
Loss of pension.
worse.
Complete destitute for his family, financial destroying his financial life, destroying his life, destroying his family's life.
Isn't that always
just for the listeners?
A worry.
What was his name? Does anybody remember?
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Somethin'vich.
Lieutenant Joseph Glenovich.
Lieutenant Joseph Glenovich.
Double check that before I slander somebody.
It's something like that. He's dead anyway.
Okay.
Well, in case Lieutenant Joseph Glenovich isn't dead, I do not want to be sued for slander.
Ooh, so fake suicide, fake out.
I'm just saying that him being a cop and ex-military...
In order to expose the real... Okay, this is some Illuminati shit right here.
I think he just should have gone about this. There's ways of killing yourself.
This life is getting interesting.
Glenovich.
Lieutenant Joseph?
Yeah.
We're like the lone gunman. It starts right here, gentlemen.
I'm just saying that there's other ways of doing this.
Are those the guys?
There's other ways of offing yourself. There's other ways of being offed. There's other ways of disappearing than how he concocted this plan.
So
I'm just saying he wasn't the brightest bulb.
But it's so much easier just to disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In today's climate, it's just like, if you got $100,000,
he might not have been able to because of all, depending on whose pockets he was in. But if he was already connecting to the outlaws in order to try to put a hit on the village administrator that was snooping around the explorer's finances, have them just off him and have it look like a fucking ambush.
Or fake off him.
You got $100,000, you drop it in any bank account, and you're on a plane the next day. You get where you're going, and you pull it, and you're done.
Well, he had nothing.
Again, but that's you, not your family.
He couldn't think outside the box.
How tight was he to his family if he's around there groping and fucking with other people? What does he care about his family for?
Apparently, there was some bond there. I mean, I don't know whether I didn't know him personally.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's just like people are just using the family as an excuse. Oh, but his family.
Family's always an excuse.
Yeah, he's just a fucking dick. He didn't care about nobody.
She covered up for him anyway.
She liked those.
She liked the bad boy.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm married. Look at me. I'm married to the bad boy cop. I may be ugly and all. And she liked money.
And she liked money.
Fox Lake money.
Yeah. Free gas and free
Newport.
Hey, there's a Chicago police officer that I know that's retiring from the force and going up to a suburb of Fox Lake within the next 3 months. He's going to have his full pension from CPD, and he will now be making very good pay up in one of those suburbs.
Still being a police officer.
That's correct.
You would think at a certain point you'd just say, you know what, I'm just going to let this career choice kind of just fade away, and I'm going to become a florist.
This police officer is too into it.
It wasn't just a career choice for him. That was who he was.
That's the thing. That's what it is for a lot of these
See
people.
a picture of that guy? Fuck.
Again, who the hell wears a recon haircut and calls himself G.I. Joe?
Psychopath?
I have seen photos of him, but I'm going to just punch up a photo really quick of him just so I can... Oh, wow. So he was a corpsman? Yeah.
To the very end.
Yeah.
That would have been worse? Or would he have ended up getting killed in prison because he was a cop?
I don't know what his scenario was. I don't know whose pockets he was in. We're asking all these hypothetical questions we don't have no answers to.
I know.
When we did this the first week when we did this at Labor Day, we were asking these hypothetical questions because things didn't add up based on the experience of the three of us in the room and what we know about law enforcement, what we know about military, and what we know about forensics. We just knew that something wasn't adding up, and we had suspicions. Now we no longer have suspicions. Now we have facts.
Too bad NBC scooped us on it.
And the thing is we still don't know all of the facts. We don't know how much more is going to be uncovered.
Well, I hate to say it, when you have ears like that, when you're a wingnut, you don't do well in prison. You're just giving your boyfriend handles.
Yeah. Oh no!
He's gonna have cauliflower ears.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Something to hold on to.
Oh, that's violent.
Hey, you knock out the teeth and you just,
Oh, that's...
break the jaw so it can't collapse on you. Hold on to an ear.
I mean, unless he's got something on someone, he's not going to protective custody, is he? I'm sure.
Yeah, he would have just been...
He's going in Gen Pop.
Juliet at that.
So then that was worse.
Yeah, probably for the time being.
Yeah. So then death is better than that, apparently.
Death for him being a tattooed soldier? Yeah.
Shit.
But again, it's the way he did it. I completely condone offing yourself. Let all the hate mail begin. But I am all for one for being able to off yourself.
Well, that goes without saying.
But at least do it a smarter way. Because, the way he did it, it was just so that if he offs himself, he doesn't get all the police pensions. He doesn't get all the killed in the line of duty awards. He doesn't get all these funds. And when you start adding these things up, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars that start adding up.
He don't get shit. He did.
Right. And if he gets killed in the line of duty, not only does he get his full pension, he gets hundreds of thousands of dollars of more.
He doesn't get anything.
Family.
His family gets it.
Yeah, he, not literally him.
If you cared about your family...
You do it in a better way to make sure it doesn't get proven that it's a...
So, just to talk about suicide, what is an acceptable way of suicide for you?
I think that the Danish, Swedish, Norwegian countries have it right.
Lethal injection?
I go to the doctor. I know, okay, I have a terminal cancer. I have 6 months left to live. I see one doctor. He agrees. I see another doctor. He agrees. I sign up, and 2 weeks later, boom, I'm gone.
What do you think an acceptable way of offing yourself is?
The method?
Yeah, I mean the actual method. I mean, if you could do it,
the method, I think I should be able to pick whatever the hell way I want.
Okay, so what would be a way that you would do it if you were going to do it?
Me, probably bullet through the skull.
You?
Multiple bullets through the skull.
I don't know. I would say it would have to be something that would definitely work. Because bullets through the skull might not work.
No, one might, as I have a horror story to tell. One might not. Multiple definitely will. Lethal injection with, NATO. The European Union cracking down on all the lethal injection drugs. You've seen what's been going on. All these pharmacies, so now you're using synthetic drugs. I don't want to sit there freaking struggling to breathe for 38 minutes. But on the flip side of that, it works for dogs. So if you could put a 100-pound dog to sleep, up that damn shit by 3 and inject my ass with it.
Yeah.
Or a combination of Norco and Valium.
Yeah. We claim to love animals as much as we do. And then we claim that, well, it was just a dog. It's not a human life. And then...
That goes back to the soul.
Exactly.
Animals don't have souls.
Exactly. So if you are terminally ill and you decide, you know what, I don't wanna.
See, if I was gonna get hanged, I'm doing the math myself. Because there's an actual formula to that shit. And I don't trust some dipshit, figuring out the length of the rope.
Well, we don't need hanging anymore. They can come up with something.
I'm just saying, if we're going through the methods here, lethal injection, okay, fine. Do it with an anesthesiologist that, we know that's going to work. But
first, the LSD.
Homemade. If I'm doing it homemade, then I'm using Norco and Valium. I'm ODing on both, and then, slowly my heart rate drops. I go into a sleep. I never wake up.
Yeah, I think the sleep for me would be, if I was going to do it, I would want to.
Yeah, jumping off the building?
No, see, dropping off so there's this music video, Jack. Uh-huh. Fool's Gold.
Not by Beck.
No. Okay. I can't. You might have to Google this.
Okay, go ahead, but tell me the story.
So I don't quite understand the music video. But in this music video, this girl keeps falling out the window. And people catch her, or she gets caught, or she doesn't get killed, or whatever it is. I don't know why this video comes to my mind. It just comes to my mind. This has absolutely no point to this conversation. But the point is if I'm freaking, free falling off a building, there's way too much time in my head to think about.
You figure out what got you there to begin with.
Right. And that's what I'm worried about is, oh, shit, I don't want to do this anymore.
Exactly.
Fits in the tantrums, maybe?
Yeah, train. Just walking and laying down on train tracks.
No, yeah,
don't trust that. What if there's a cow card?
I just wouldn't.
I had a neighbor. He killed 3 people that way. He finally ended up offing himself. He couldn't live with it.
Wait, what?
He had 3 over his course of his career. Uh-huh. He had 3 different people jumping from his train.
Oh, I thought he killed 3 people by putting them in front of the train.
I don't like you. You egg my house. Come here.
Did he have a wiry mustache and a big hat? And was there piano music playing? Was he one of those guys?
Cotton rope.
Yeah, tying somebody with a single knot.
Yeah, he ended up offing himself. He couldn't live with it anymore. I don't want somebody else involved. They don't have to be involved.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's best to go somewhere, to have somebody euthanize you.
But what was wrong with Kevorkian?
Nothing.
And nothing, exactly. He was awesome.
I think we could have all said that in unison. Nothing.
Fuck.
There's nothing wrong with the people in Oregon either who are doing it under the table. Maybe it's just the next thing. I mean, we're going to have legalized pot in the next 3 years across the country. Or you can walk in a room and maybe it's not assisted suicide. What is it called? Euthanasia is, but there's a word for the people who help you do it.
Assisted suicide assistance?
Suicide angels? Or is that the girls with the tattoos?
Suicide girls.
Those are suicide girls. The girls with tattoos and piercings.
No, I think assisted suicide.
I think it's called assisted suicide.
Yeah. Assisted suicide. Okay.
Yeah.
But I could see okay, so you guys were asking me all night long if I could see myself doing this type of job or that type of job. I think that's one job I could see myself actually doing.
Killing people?
Hello, Dexter.
So you want to be a legal hitman? So this is the slippery slope. They legalize pot, they legalize killing.
Yeah, this is a slippery slope. But I think that would be something that I could do without a problem.
Man, I can kill people all day long. Come on. Can we pull people in off the street? It's a little slow today.
I think it takes a certain type of person, though, to say, I'm going to give you this injection and I'm going to stay with you to make sure that it goes okay and watch life leave their body so that they're lifeless, and then take their vitals and make sure that when you make that call for the meat wagon to come, that's, things go okay. That's going to be, think about the nurses that can barely do their job when it comes to helping people who are hurt. Imagine them having to be assisted suicide. How that would drive them crazy.
Physician assisted.
Oh, fuck that! I don't want minimum wage Betty giving me the final send off.
Exactly.
Yeah, but look at all these nurses and doctors that work in abortion clinics that put their, I use air quotes here, somewhat facetiously, somewhat seriously, their lives on the line.
They can get bombed and shot
for
by
just
some
performing abortions.
crazy Christian bitches and people. So they are putting themselves on the line.
Right.
So are assisted suiciders?
They're being attacked. I know
That's ridiculous. So let's kill this guy who's trying to help people die.
But I googled not that long ago, assisted suicide Netherlands.
Okay.
I think it was, or Dutch or something like that. And the first few responses I got, or first few hits I got, was over 650 babies killed in the Netherlands due to physician-assisted suicide.
So they're calling abortions assisted suicide.
No, they're calling him assisted suicide because these are 2-year-olds or whatever that are completely fucked.
Oh wow!
That will never develop. That will never.
That's awesome.
It is.
Wow. And we are going to get hate mail for that one. Oh, did I just really say that's awesome?
I have a deal. My significant other and I have a deal.
Uh-huh.
And that is that if I get to the point where I can't.
I'm chambering my gun right now.
That I can't go on with life. She's either to off me or help me off myself. I will off myself if I can. If not, she is to assist me. I don't need somebody sitting there and feeling sorry for me. I have a hard enough time accepting help to begin with.
But that's stubbornness on your own part, not accepting help, and that's just kind of being a general asshole.
Who feels sorry for you?
And nobody feels sorry for you.
I don't know if they do, but
nobody in this room feels sorry for you.
I doubt it.
Yeah. We don't get paid for that. And you have, a family. You have responsibilities. It's not just you.
Okay, so yeah, that's back to that was if you died on a table. Okay, you died.
It wasn't if I died on a table.
Hold on a second now. If you died on a table, fine. You're dead on the table. But if you came out and you were
fucked.
Yeah, fucked. Okay, at least when you come out and you're fucked, it's like, okay, he's fucked. He's not going to move. Let's call everybody up and let's let them know what's going on so everybody can make their rounds, and maybe somebody in that thing will get the little glimmer of hope and see him move, and then be like, oh, yeah, at least I got to see him move that one last time, or this or that. And then they bring in somebody like me who's willing to
put a pillow on your face and sit on it.
That doesn't work. We tried that.
Okay. Or what I'm saying is just somebody who's going to give you the shot and is going to sit with you when that thing happens, when we finally get there. If we had to transport your body to Oregon, or somebody had to take a plane with you to the Netherlands so it could happen. Right. At least it could happen. But
there's going to be some kind of weird laws, though. It's going to be the same thing with us going to Oregon to go buy some pot.
Oregon.
I love the way he says Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh. I love the way he says it. I love to hear him say oregano, too. Oregano. Pardon me, miss. Do you have any red crushed pepper and oregano for my pizza? What the fuck did you find this guy?
And this is why I don't want to be kept alive. No, but here's the thing. You have to rescind your DNI, for the surgery, because you can't have a do not intubate order if you're getting intubated for the surgery, right? So, obviously, that gets rescinded for the time being. But, they're fucking around in there, Guy might have a twitch.
Yeah, true. True. And did you write, if you couldn't walk, you'd want to die?
She knows.
Okay. So they got to wake you up. They got to put you through all the PT and all that other shit, and then you've got to find...
But they wake you up during the surgery to make sure you're still feeling things.
Hey.
Oh, Mr.
Hey, you.
Mr. Doctor, can you feel my hand on your wiener?
That was the day after. No, so they put probes in you and strategic places.
This is some fucking UFO abduction. Where'd you have your surgery, on the mothership?
Roswell.
Lots of little gray guys with
Yeah, so the woman comes to me for the surgery, and she takes a bunch of measurements of my head. I'm being serious here. I know this sounds really bad.
What was that practice called? Cranial what? Where they can measure the bumps on your head to know if you were psychotic?
I don't remember now, yeah.
Phrenology.
Let's measure his skull to make sure it doesn't swell.
So she takes a bunch of measurements from my head, and she goes, move your eye this way, move your eye that way. And she takes all these measurements and she makes all these marks on my body. And she goes, once you get put under, we're putting all these probes in, these needles in, and then we pretty much electrocute you to your spinal cord. And then we know from the measurement whether it moved or not, and how much it moved prior and post. And, so I knew that was going to happen. And, they wake you up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Wake you up. I barely remember that, but, they do wake you up. Like you're going to feel something, and then you don't know. And then you're going to feel something, and then you don't know, But, she knows the deal. If I'm not able to take care of myself, if I can't, walk down the street by myself, if I can't,
To do what?
To do what? What?
Walk down the street. To just walk down the street in general?
No, he just means as a measurement of his abilities. And
right.
It goes far beyond walking down the street with him.
Right. If I cannot be my own person, if I have to rely on somebody to care for me 24/7, I do not want to be here.
Okay. You got it.
I mean, twisting your ankle and having somebody help you up is one thing. I mean, by no means start pulling out the 22 if I ever trip.
Okay, all right. Okay, it's good. It's good that you clarified that bit, because...
Who's ready for Thanksgiving?
He's got a hangnail. All right.
No. I think this one's all right. I think I might make it. Oh, man, there's going to be midnight phone calls.
Oh, there's going to be so much angry email about this.
Oh, man.
I'm okay with the angry email. I actually like it. You want angry email?
Any.
Well, we just hit up abortion.
Yeah.
Cop killing. Physician-assisted suicide.
So it's
all
okay.
in the last hour. I'm fairly certain there's going to be some hatred coming this way.
It all comes down to killing.
Yeah. I mean, murder.
And we mentioned guns.
Murder.
It all comes down to people and murder and death and life.
Yeah, but why are people so obsessed with it? Like you said earlier, you don't want to let the dog suffer, so you put it down.
Right.
But you're going to let your grandmother suffer. You're going to let your child suffer. You're going to let your significant other suffer.
Exactly. Fuck them.
That's okay.
Right.
What's her face?
Joan Rivers.
Terry Schiavo.
Oh, yeah. Nobody remembers that.
I
Well,
do.
somebody does. I remember the first time, at least.
Yeah, I remember the Schiavo case very well.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
The Schiavo case was horrible?
Just that whole situation. The fact that we had to hear
situation.
about it.
Right.
So, when my wife was having...
I think Jack's ready. He's starting to wrap up his microphone.
Oh.
An anxiety attack pre her last surgery she had. The people in the emergency room or in the hospital room, on the other side of the curtain, the doctors were basically having an end-of-life discussion with the patient.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very... and it's a teaching hospital.
Okay.
So it wasn't just one doctor and, another doctor and the patient and his
So you got 20 people in there.
One speaker with 10 listeners?
Yeah, pretty much.
Taking notes?
Yeah.
On what to say and what not to say, the reaction of the patient?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, this is it?
And hearing the patient, she had a stroke. She was like somewhere in her late 40s or early 50s or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just, it was just moaning and unintelligible words.
Yeah, I guess if I was in that situation.
And then there's my wife with an anxiety attack that turned out to be just nerves and...
Puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to just sit there and go, look, that is fucking... That's something.
So there's this YouTube channel. I'm going to plug them, and you could edit this out if you want.
Plug anybody you want.
It's called People Are Awesome.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
And there's just also this music video. I think it's called Renegades by Ex-Ambassadors or something like that. I don't know. But watch the music video. You just take the 3 minutes of your life while you're taking a dump. It's now a Jeep commercial, yeah.
It was a Jeep commercial first.
I disagree with you on that.
That's where their music came from.
I still disagree with you on that.
Okay.
But what have you.
People are awesome.
But so they show like these people.
I disagree with you on that.
I know they're not awesome.
I don't know, that guy that jumped out of from the stratosphere down for the free fall.
Yeah, for the GoPro attached to the skull.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, was that Felix?
Something like
What's
that.
his face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this music video, they have these people, these amputees.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
dancing.
And you know they're wrestling, and they got this guy who has no arms, and he's pretty much he's just got stumps, and he's climbing K2 and all this, and these fucking people could do this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
There's absolutely no reason why after me just having my spinal cord operated on, I can't fucking shuffle it onto my local White Castle.
Yeah, exactly.
What people will not do for a slider.
I don't even like White Castle. That's the whole fucking point.
I'm surprised you just didn't have one slider. I'll have one, please.
If you need your stool softened.
That's a place to get your stool softened. Man.
But I'm just saying, if there's people that are thousands of times worse than I am.
Of course there are.
And they're fucking out there.
Exactly.
They're holding up that sign, "Mom just died, quadriplegic, give me money."
There's a guy that works at the gas station by my work, and he's got like a baby arm.
Yeah, and those people are out there getting laid.
And working.
And here I am. What excuse do I have? Why should I not be able to go back to work tomorrow?
But no, that's not what we're getting at here. You're going the wrong way with this. You are an able-bodied person who just had a surgery. And you're going to go back to being able-bodied.
If everything heals right, yes.
With a certain period of time.
Within a certain period of time. Blah,
These
blah,
people
blah.
aren't growing their arms back.
These people, this guy's baby
3D
arm
printing.
isn't going to...
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, he could have
yet.
a bionic arm.
Not yet. We're not there
Have
yet.
you not seen The Fugitive?
He
had
put
3 in his drawer.
He could plug like a...
prosthetics.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking completely different. You're going to be able to walk and do everything. It just takes time. Now, when you rush it and you're forcing...
I don't have time.
Yes, you do.
That's something I don't have.
Sure it is.
What don't you have time for?
I can come up with more money.
For one thing, you have been out of the hospital for exactly 1 day. Let's start there.
It might even be less than that, actually.
Is it one? No, it's not even one.
It's not even a day yet? All right. And you're acting like...
It's been weeks. I've been in a coma for 16 years. What do you mean Buddy Holly isn't around anymore?
Time is not something I can generate.
None of us can.
Exactly.
But we have to.
So why am I wasting it sitting in a wheelchair?
Again, Not even a day.
Okay, you're not wasting your time sitting in a wheelchair. You're sitting in the wheelchair getting better, focusing the energy that you have on how to make the time that you're going to have that much more richer.
Wrestle. I've already seen that.
Why would anybody want to watch amputees wrestle?
People are awesome.
Two different things. Two different things.
Oh, is there Jello involved?
No, the Renegades music video is all about people with physical disabilities.
Wrestling?
That are like, the one-armed person, doing those deadlift things, and
I don't need to see that.
Okay, good for him.
You know what? I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by people who do that. I'm not impressed by people who have physical ailments.
I'd be more impressed by somebody at my work doing that.
Yeah, but then you have people that have a toenail and have to go home and take a week off of work because.
But life is all about perception.
Yes, and you need to build up your pain tolerance.
But perception for A and B are different.
All of our perceptions are different.
Yeah, the way we see the way you guys see me, the way I see you is different from the way you see yourselves.
Is different than the cat, is different than the boo, is different than the one with the sign that says my mom just died.
We don't need to compensate for that.
Your mom just died?
No, the signs people hold.
Okay. And it's not just died now.
Dude,
she needs to take off the now.
So loud.
You just peaked it. Wow.
She annoys me.
Wow, I mean, you hit red on the mixer and the recorder and on the keyboards. The keyboards don't even register.
The agitation level has gone up.
You changed the octave of the thing.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a distribution of wealth that we need. It's a distribution of
perception.
You mean equal distribution of wealth?
Right.
Okay.
It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's about an equal distribution of people and resources and services. So
elaborate.
We got to do something about this whole homeless thing.
Some of them are making bank.
Some of them are making bank, indeed. We need to do something about this whole how do we take care of old people thing.
Off them.
How do we take care of... Well, if that's your answer, then we should just off the homeless, the elderly, cripples, the mentally disturbed,
criminals.
Delinquents. Delinquents
is a better word.
Delinquents kind of means...
so you've pretty much made a utopia.
Like juvenile?
Okay.
You've pretty much just turned into Adolf.
I'm working on it. Criminals, obsessives, religious fanatics.
You're going to throw some races in there?
Racists.
The people who are against
People
racism.
who believe in race as meaning something.
Right, not as...
Geographicists.
Oh, race.
People who believe that the general area in which you were born has something to do with anything.
Man, there's going to be you and like 3 other people.
I'm not even in there.
Yeah.
We already got the cripple in the week, so
let's go back to...
I didn't say the week.
Okay, hold on. So equal distribution of wealth over the spectrum of...
Well, that's because that's what people... Isn't that what the... isn't that communism in a way?
Everybody puts into the same pot and then you just take as much as you need.
Right.
But there's somebody that's... So imagine there's a spigot at the bottom of that pot, and there's somebody that's controlling that spigot. It isn't like it just kind of filters out and goes where it needs to go. Somebody has to make the decision on how it's distributed. It just doesn't happen.
So somebody needs to open and close the spigot
exactly
for each person.
And that's where problems start.
But it's not up to them to decide how much the person gets. They just
fine. So you do
open it and close it for that person's allotment.
So you do an irrigation system with a synapse sensor.
It never works. How would you deal with the
because,
homeless? If you had the power today to deal with what we call the homeless crisis, how would you handle that?
Mailboxes.
Well, Jack...
What the fuck was that in where they tried to put
That's a Gary Meyer joke, but
homeless guy in a mail?
It's that bad freaking cycle of, oh, you want to work? Fine. Well, you need experience. Well, you can't get experience without work. Oh, you want to get a job? Oh, well, you can't get a job without education. You can't get education without clothes, food, money, shelter, etc. It's a whole bad cycle. You have to break the cycle.
The cycle is being broken.
Got to break the cycle.
The cycle's already being broken. That's not
too slowly.
But
there's no way to break that cycle any faster. Big social changes need time and lots of it.
Hundreds of years.
No, not hundreds of years. They need time. And the time, we're not talking deep time and we're not talking historical time. We're just talking time in general. Think of the time it took for us to go from white only water fountains to where we are today. It's a flash.
So you're saying racism doesn't exist today?
Not when it comes to water fountains.
We still have paid
or
toilets.
Buses.
Are there still water fountains?
There's paid toilets.
Paid toilets?
Mm-hmm. I'm all for the paid toilet.
That has nothing to do with racism. That just has to do with. But back to homeless.
Sure, it does.
Okay, wait.
It has to do with financial inequality.
Who has the money?
You can't take a dump if you can't pay your quarter.
I am too poor to take a shit.
Okay, so
in this little space.
Then you go back and you shit outside.
Then I go back
you shit in front of the toilet.
And then you get arrested. And now you have a criminal record. And now you can't get a job.
Okay, so back to the homeless thing. What would you do to solve the homeless problem? How would you start? If you could just start making very small baby steps to get rid of the homeless problem. And I don't know what the problem is, but let's just use that.
I think part of the problem is that they don't have a home.
That's just a cookie.
What is a home? I mean, even a home is a very easy thing to obtain.
Is it? Is it really?
It truly is. I mean, we create so many social community things for people who want to have homes. I mean, a homeless person could easily go to social services and get a stipend and have a home within 2-3 months.
I'm not going to agree with you quite there.
Okay.
It's a little bit more convoluted than that. You have to stop the corruption first.
That goes a little bit. So we're just talking about the homeless problem. Anybody can get SSI.
Build shelters inside cemeteries.
Do we need shelters or do you need...
Kind of like churches used
cemeteries?
to be.
Huh?
Do we need cemeteries?
We don't need cemeteries.
No, that's why we build homes on that land.
We need
for
oatmeal
the homeless.
cookies, though. We need oatmeal cookies.
We do need oatmeal cookies. I mean, what would be your start would be to have homes, to start giving them homes. And maybe the homeless could build the homes.
If we give them a home,
yeah,
they won't be homeless anymore.
Okay.
And there won't be a homeless problem.
Okay. How are they paying for this home?
Okay.
I didn't come here for all these kind of questions.
Big questions.
I'm being serious. How are they paying the property taxes? How are they paying the utilities?
Why do property taxes have to exist?
They're not. They're living in a shared community.
Free zone.
Free zone.
So
who's paying for all this then? All these social services that they're receiving, all this infrastructure they're receiving?
Society.
So why am I paying even more for you? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, you're doing a really good job at playing devil's advocate.
It's because they're taking too much money out of my paycheck for...
The guy under the bridge that's not sleeping in a shelter, that's not on SSI, that's not on any free insurance is taking more money out of my pocket than me paying for him to build the house for himself, to pay his utility, to get police service, to get sewer, to get power, to get water, to get ambulance, to get all this other stuff. Because all of a sudden, my money out of my pocket just skyrocketed compared to him freezing to death under the viaduct this winter.
Should we stop by and tell him on the way home?
I'm sure he knows.
Well,
how about you stop the violence in the shelters first?
Stop the violence.
In the shelters.
Stop the violence in general first. So we got a homeless problem. We got a violence problem.
Well, aren't people always going to fight? Especially when they're...
I believe that's the question that everybody's trying to answer now.
Oh, this is going in the archives. It's never coming back.